Hi, and welcome to another narrative presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. If you enjoy this and the other stories, please be so kind as to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. This will help with the YouTube's algorithm and will promote the channel more. Now, even though I'm not yet monetized by YouTube, I have created some awesome merch for you guys. So please be so kind as to visit www.redbubble.com/people/cryptids-roost and grab yourself a t-shirt, mug, wall clock, duvet cover, or whatever else grabs your fancy. The link will be in the description. Also, if you would like an honourable mention, take a snapshot of yourself along with your merch and I'll feature it in one of the videos. Oh, and thank you all for helping us reach the first milestone of 100 subscribers. The next milestone is 500. I'm sure we can do it. Oh, and don't forget to leave a comment on the videos. Maybe tell us how you would handle the upcoming situations. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. A Guide from a Monster Hunter, Part 4. This awesome series is written by Reddit user SoLonely200. Ulysses here. Sorry about the late upload. This time out I'm gonna cut out descriptions and tell you all about my latest case, because boy, even for my line of work it was a doozy. If you remember, I told you all about a zombie case I was going to investigate. Well, it wasn't no zombie, it was a skinwalker, or rather a pack of them. Shape-shifting assholes took the form of the typical zombies, vampires, etc. to hunt prey. Can't really say why. Their usual form usually serves them fine. I'm not going to go into detail about how I tracked them down or figured out what was really going on, because that's not important right now. Long story short, I found their nest, usual fare as far as skinnies go, bones and the smell of dead meat. Skinwalker nests are usually made from fur, flesh, tendons, bones, etc., all woven together in cave systems. But again, I wasn't too fazed by any of this at this point. It was what I found threw me off. There were dozens of corpses, skinwalker corpses, another hunter maybe. Then I noticed the slashes. What the... I knelt down. No normal animal can take down a pack of skinwalkers. These things were apex predators, so what happened to them? I felt sick to my stomach. Skinwalkers weren't killed easy. I know that from experience, so that meant something else was in these woods. Night was already starting to fall, and I was miles from any road or city. Hell, my truck was a few hours hike from me. I pulled out some jerky, ate a piece and got to work setting up a makeshift camp. A fire wouldn't be necessary for warmth, but I didn't want to risk whatever killed them coming for me. Hopefully it would stay away from the light. I wouldn't be getting any sleep that night, or rather I couldn't, too risky. I stoked the fire a bit and heard a voice behind me. Someone's on edge. I turned around and there stood once again the devil. The fuck? Do you have anything to do with that? I gestured to the cave. He, taking the form of an old park ranger, shook his head. Nope, not me. He pulled out a cigarette and lit it with his index finger on the scarred hand. Figured you could use the company. He took a drag of the smoke and exhaled. Never did care much for these. The taste reminds me of home though, he muttered, the fire reflecting off the dark sunglasses he wore. Why are you here, Nick? He smiled. Can't I check in on an old friend? We both know you and I aren't friends, I replied, listening to the fire pop. Touché. If I'm honest, I've got nothing else going on. It is a Tuesday. Not much temptation to do during Tuesdays. He sat down and I looked up. So you're gonna bother me? Now where's that famous southern hospitality? Didn't they teach you manners in the Bayou? Yeah, but they also taught us not to fuck with the devil. Well, that's fair. I just wanted to warn you about the crier. The what? I looked up and he was gone. The fuck? Before I could react, I was thrown down by what felt like razors. I looked up and saw a really tall thing. It wasn't like any monster I've ever seen. It was dark, but I'll try to give you the best description I can. It was probably about 8 feet tall. It stood up like a man, and it had no eyes, just a large gaping mouth with more teeth than a chainsaw. It had 4 arms, with 2, I think, coming out of its back. Each arm had razor-sharp claws with 4 fingers on each. I could feel the blood gushing from the wound it gave me. "What in the fuck are you?" I said, ignoring the blood in my mouth from the impact. It let out a roar. Well, I think it was a roar, but it sounded like a baby crying. I wasn't armed, so I had no choice but to run. It was pitch black, and all I had was a flashlight. I could hear it running after me, that damn crying sound behind me. I ducked behind a tree to catch my breath. What the fuck was that thing? I knew it was what killed the skinwalkers, but what the fuck was it? The wound on my chest had soaked my shirt in blood, and I could barely move, but I had to keep moving. The thing was going to find me, and I didn't much fancy being tomorrow's leftovers. Or I would have kept moving, but my wounds and generally how tired I was wouldn't allow for it. I spent the rest of the night sitting in darkness, having lost my flashlight during my run from the thing. I could only guess it was the crier. I heard the sound of it crying the whole night, but luckily I didn't run into it anymore. Well, not before daybreak. I made it to my truck around 9 AM, several hours later, and just as I did, I heard the crying again. I grabbed my shotgun from the back of my truck and readied myself. Everything hurt, everything, but I wouldn't go down without a fight. It crawled down from a tree like a spider in front of me. It swiped at me and I moved. I kind of regret that looking at the huge slashes in my truck doors, but back to the story. I shot it in the mouth, but all that did was stun it. I ran to my truck and cranked it up. I floored the pedal as the ugly bastard gave chase. Eventually it gave up and fled into the woods, but not before fucking my truck up real good. I'm in the hospital now. Luckily they let me keep my phone. I told my superiors about my encounter and they said they didn't have any record of anything like that. So what the fuck is in those woods? And why is it just now showing up? Did Satan have something to do with it? I couldn't be sure. If he did, why warn me about it? I'm leaving this hospital ASAP. I gave a cover story of a bear attack. My bosses are sending in a team to hunt that thing. There's no chance in hell I'll be joining them. I'm no coward, but I've always said there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Anyway, that's all for now. Ulysses, out. Wow, what an epic episode. If you enjoyed listening to this narrative, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile, SoLonely200, and drop them a line or even give them a glowing review. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoyed my narration, then please feel free to like and share the video, leave a comment below, maybe tell us how you would handle these situations, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Even though I am not yet monetized by YouTube, I have created some awesome merch for you guys. So please be so kind as to visit www.redbubble.com/people/cryptids-roost and grab yourself a t-shirt, mug, wall clock, or even a duvet cover, or whatever else grabs your fancy. The link is in the description. If you would like to have an honourable mention, take a snapshot of yourself with your item and I'll feature it in one of the videos. Have you had a cryptid sighting, paranormal or supernatural encounter, or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? Or have you written a creepypasta story you would like me to narrate for you? You can submit your stories to cryptidsroost@gmail.com, and if you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine with me. Now, I also have a Twitter, Reddit, Discord, and a Facebook group. And if you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/Cryptids Roost. Again, that will also be below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.